So we've got this really nice freestanding tap, but it's a bit too tall for the bus, so I've decided to pull it apart and cut it shorter. Now it's a good thing I did, because it turns out that one of these water pipes wasn't actually attached properly. It was in, it was just only halfway in. And to get to it, you had to literally pull the whole thing apart. Unfortunately, shortening it may not be that easy. It's got an end cap on the end with a hole in it that fits this. Now 2 long rods bolt this to the tap at the top to tie it all together. Onto this screws this mount, which then the whole unit sits down over this base here. Now you can see there's a groove around where these 4 screws locate onto that groove, and that's what holds it down. There's probably a fair bit of load going through all of that. So by simply cutting this off, I'm going to lose that end plate and have to come up with a new way of doing it. So there we go. 200mm shorter, but without the flash end. So let's see how it goes without it. Turn up these bolts will surely just buckle the edges if it doesn't simply burst through. So I think I'm going to need to use this and put this on top of it instead of underneath it. So this is the rod that connects the top of the tap to the bottom of the tap, and it's 660mm long. So what that means is if I took 200mm off the pedestal, then I need to take 200mm off this rod. However, it's only threaded at each end. Enter a new plan. Here's a bit of threaded rod, longer than I need, so I'll cut that to 460, right about there, and I'll have my new rod. Now, a little trick Mr. James, my engineering teacher, taught me back at Mana College all those years ago, was to put a nut on the end before making a cut, because then when I make a cut here and I take the nut off, then that is a really easy way of deburring the cut. He also taught me that using a couple of bits of wood in your vise will protect your threads. So as I take the nut off, it just takes the edge off the bolt to make it easier to put a nut back on, which is often quite difficult. So let's recap. This bit's too long, these 3 bits are all too long. This bit here I can cut off, so go for that. Now these two I can't really cut because they've only got a thread on a little bit of the end, no thread here. I need to cut them, and I don't have a die, so they can go and be replaced with these bits. So now we're ready to reassemble. We'll start with the hoses. Now with double O-rings and a straight thread, I'm sure they don't need to be that tight. But I forgot to put this bit on. Damn it, going to also need the pipe on. Let's take them off again. So what I've done is cut a small notch in the end so that I can hold this still with a screwdriver. The reason being that once I screw one end into the tap head and try to do a nut on the other end, in turning it I want to make sure that this stays still and the nut turns rather than winding this further into the tap head, which could potentially damage the tap by going too far. So you probably can't see, but I can see in there that this has gone through the threaded section but is still well clear of the rest of the tap, so it won't damage it. So here's hoping that connection's watertight, because if it is, that's the last time that'll ever come off. Little brass washer, little spring washer, and a nut. So if all's gone to plan, this bit should fit nicely into there, and it does. So there we go, successfully shortened. That's ready for install. So thanks for watching. This baby's ready to install, but the bathroom's not ready to have it yet. So it can go back in its box comfortably knowing that it will now fit, and you can see that in a later video. So I hope you liked the video. Take care, and we'll see you again soon.